everyone, and welcome to Burn the Ship, the podcast that helps entrepreneurs go all in on their business, and we introduce them to professionals that can help them to do so. Today, we have a very special guest, Guy Tuccero. How you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me on. This is my first podcast, so I look forward to chatting with you.
Oh, awesome. I already know it's going to be great. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the name of your business.
Yeah, my name is Guy. I am a local arborist in Connecticut, and I own Meristem Tree Care and Plantscapes.
Awesome. Now, we understand that time is one of our most valuable resources. So go ahead and jump into things, Guy, and tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I'd say it probably started before college, but I'll start in college. I graduated from University of Arizona with a plant science degree. And once I graduated, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was, just working odd jobs for the summer and everything. And I decided to come home to the state of Connecticut. That's where I was born and raised. So I went far away for college, came back home to continue to figure it out. And took me about 6-9 months to make a decision, but I ended up moving to Boulder with my girlfriend at the time. We're now married, and just for a change and looking for opportunity. So once we got to Boulder, Colorado, I started looking around for jobs in the green industry and landscaping, stuff like that. And I wound up working for an organic lawn care company for several years. And I kind of worked up the management. I was an assistant manager there, so it wasn't a big crew, but part of the management team, helping guys getting trained up and all that sort of stuff. And I just learned about lawn care and the growing plants and the kind of harsh, dry weather of Colorado. So I kept learning that business, basically lawn care. And there was my field manager there was actually from Connecticut too. And he, in the winter, lawn care, as you can imagine, in areas that have winter, it's kind of a seasonal job. So in the winter, we'd have a lot of downtime. We'd fix our equipment, get kind of ready for the next year, educated ourselves and all that. But a lot of times we had a lot of time off. So what I would do is with my field manager, he convinced the boss to let him prune trees on the side. Okay. So I kind of took a liking to that. So for a couple winters, we would, do a couple jobs here and there, really simple stuff, just hand pruners and pole pruners. So we can reach maybe like 10, 15 feet tall. It wasn't anything crazy, but I really started to like the whole tree care aspect of it. And so my brain was kind of turning and trying to figure out how I could get into that industry. And after a couple of years, I started getting a little bored, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I could get my arborist license. So in 2018, I believe it was, I got my arborist certification through the ISA, which is the International Society of Arboriculture. And so that kind of gave me a little credential to kind of prune trees and do tree fertilizations, treatments, and all that sort of thing. And then that winter, I got a job with a tree care company for maybe 2 or 3 months because I had committed to changing jobs in the spring. I was going to go from the lawn care company. I stopped with them in the fall of 2018. And then I was going to jump ship to a landscape company that was kind of starting out, another really small company. And in between, I wanted a winter job. I was kind of bored. I don't like being stagnant. So I worked for the tree care, tree pruning company for a couple months. And I'm like, man, I really love it, but I already committed to this job managing a small landscape company. So I kind of kept that in my back pocket, the tree care experience, and did landscaping for a year. And then, 2019 into 2020 was kind of a hectic year for everybody with COVID, and the business really struggled. So I saw the writing on the wall, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my own business. And that's kind of
where you are now, how that journey got. Now, I've done a lot of these podcasts or interviews, and I can tell you the first one that's dealing with an arborist. So you said that you were in Connecticut. You went to school way in Arizona.
Yep.
Tell us how that came about when you were younger. What made you infatuated with trees and plants?
So when I was younger, I always kind of my earliest memories. My mom was a little bit of a gardener, so
Hmm.
kind of my earliest memories of thinking about plants was when she would go to the garden centers, and I loved um, just being around the plants. I don't know how to describe it. I loved when she would go. I'd always, I sometimes in the summer, I'd be like, let's go to the garden center. We can fill some spots in the garden with flowers, and it's kind of a funny um, wish for a young boy to ask their mom to go look at flowers, but that's kind of how my brain was working back then. And
Hmm.
I yeah, that's kind of the earliest memories. But sorry, what was the first part of that conversation?
No, that was
I,
it. I was just trying to figure out what got you into that because some people, have grown up to be graphic designers, and they say, "Hey, look, I always loved my sketchbook." Like the last guy, he was a journalist. His mom made him write in his journal, which made him want to be a journalist. And
right.
that's why I was asking because, like I said, I've never had an arborist before, and I was just wondering what is it that was leading you into that. So I was just trying to check and see.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, it was. I've just been attracted to plants, and then I'm also an artist. When I was younger, I
Okay.
drew a lot, and I
Hmm.
think uh, being an arborist is kind of a combination of science and art. So
Okay.
I always wanted to do something where five people, five arborists could prune the same tree differently, and
Okay.
it's very subjective sometimes. So I kind of like that aspect. I can put my own spin on kind of everything.
And dealing with the plants, what would you say over this time you've been dealing with the flowers and the plants is your favorite plant? Which one's your favorite one to deal with?
It changes monthly.
Okay,
Right
okay.
now, I don't have a specific plant, but I'm really getting into native plants.
Okay.
Um, I guess I'll say my favorite tree right now is a red bud. We've
Okay.
planted a few of those over the course of the last couple of years. They're very pretty tree. I think they can grow down kind of where you guys are at. Um,
Yeah, we're
I
in
think
Atlanta
they're
down here.
yeah, I think there are native ranges down there too. But yeah, I'd say a red bud is my favorite plant right now.
Now, you were sharing with us that, hey, look, you were at a company for a while. You were going to make the transition into landscaping, but then you got infatuated with the tree care. And this is all in Colorado. Now,
Correct.
so something happened where you say, you know what? I am going to burn the ship, go all in my business because now you're in Connecticut, correct?
Yeah, so I started my kind of burn the ship moment was right before COVID started. I had my first daughter. Well, I only
Okay.
have one daughter. I have three kids, but one daughter. So me and my wife had our first kid in December, and the world kind of went haywire a couple of weeks later. And I kind of realized with the landscape company, I had a lot of great opportunities. I was kind of thrown into the fire, but I was working a lot, and I was
Hmm.
commuting in and out of Denver. Not the worst traffic in the world, but definitely pretty bad traffic. And so I was like, I don't want to be waking up at 5, coming home at 6 when I have my new daughter. And I was like, I can do this on my own. And
Yeah.
I kind of made the calculated decision. I kind of resigned from my management position, but still wanted to work with the team. So
Hmm.
I went part time, found a job that I could work remotely. This is
Hmm.
still all in Colorado, and then uh, yeah, I kind of just started doing my own thing. But it was a lot of working, that's for sure. But I was
Yes.
kind of in control of it. So, but yeah, I
Okay.
did kind of burn the ship down. I was like, I'm doing it myself.
And what made you transition back over to Connecticut from Colorado? That's a big move.
Yeah, it is. So my wife was pregnant so we were in business in Colorado for 2.5 years. We were just about ready to ramp up, hire employees and all that. And then we just decided once my wife got pregnant with our second, it's like, oh man, we need to be closer to family. So
Okay.
we kind of just closed shop and we're like, kind of moved on a dime really quickly. We're just like, we're just gonna find a place and back home and kind of restart. And that's where we're actually 2.5 years since that point.
Okay.
So kind of back to the same position. But yeah, we're just working hard on building our clientele and doing our thing.
Now, tell us all about the tree service business that you have. Tell us, what services are you providing? Who are you looking to get in contact with? Like who's your ideal client? And then after that, share with us some of those referral partners that can help you with opportunities. But first, tell us all about your services and everything that you're offering.
Yeah, so we're a very small tree care and landscaping business. So we prune and remove trees. We do tree planting, and this year we're gonna jump back into landscaping. So garden design and installation, and we're thinking about doing some garden maintenance as well. So kind of weeding and just managing people's gardens. And then yeah, so we work. We have a couple of partnerships in town, but we kind of work with big tree care companies because we're a
Hmm.
smaller company and we do most of our removing the old school way by climbing.
Okay.
So we got harness on the ropes, and it's very labor intensive.
Hmm.
So we rely on, for big removals, we partner with other local tree care companies to get the big stuff down, and
Hmm.
we're kind of the arborist on site that makes sure everybody's safe, and the customer's happy, basically. But yeah, we work with other contractors, other landscapers, and yeah, that's kind of our thing.
Now, as far as your geographical area, I know you're in Connecticut. What city are you in? Where are you trying to grow that business to? Tell us about your geographical area and where you want those services taken care of.
Yeah, we're in kind of the middle of Connecticut, in a place called Haddam, a pretty small town, very close to Middletown, and
Hmm.
we kind of do. Connecticut's a small state, but we kind of do like a 45-minute radius around our town. That's kind of our service area, so it
Hmm.
covers a good portion of the shoreline. Um, and then northern Connecticut, like the Hartford area, most people are
Hmm.
familiar with. So we're just kind of we want to grow closer to our home base to cut
Okay.
down on fuel
That
costs and
travel.
all that stuff. But we'll go 45 minutes uh, to reach our clients.
As you talk about growing the business, I know networking is a huge aspect of business that can get you opportunities. As you've been in business, who would you say has been a great referral partner for you that you have worked together and they've sent you over opportunities? Who should we keep an eye out for a connection for you with?
Definitely, I'd say there's a lot of different people, but um, landscapers, various
Okay.
landscape contractors, because a lot
Hmm.
of times landscape contractors, they can prune shrubs and small bushes and stuff, but they don't have the expertise to um, take care of a lot of people's trees. And there seems to be kind of a niche for us between the big tree care companies that love removing the big stuff and can have the cranes and all the bucket trucks and everything. Um, a niche between them and then landscapers who struggle to take care of small to medium sized trees, and they know that these trees need to be taken care of, but they don't want to
Hmm.
necessarily have the big companies do it. So we have a couple people that read landscapers that reach out to us and say, "Hey, I have this great client of ours, but we their trees need to be taken care of, and we don't want to just give it to just anybody." So we take the kind of long approach with a lot of our clients. So we have a lot of good landscapers that look for somebody um, that looks at trees long term, number one, but also, hey, it's a small project, but it's still really important to the client. So I'd say other landscapers are our big referrals, and we have a
Makes a
few.
lot of sense. They're in the same industry as you're in, but they're dealing with like I said, the lower level of it. Trying to keep
Exactly.
the ground taken care of. You're trying to help with that. As we wrap up this section of the podcast, I want to ask, what's the tallest tree that you've climbed up?
So I'm pretty late into the game of tree climbing, and I have this
Hmm.
love hate relationship with climbing.
Okay.
So I've probably been up 50 feet, but I definitely don't
Okay.
like it.
Okay. Okay.
I know a lot of guys. I have a couple guys that work with me, and they're fearless. They'll go up a 100-foot tree and rope everything out. I'm the guy that manages and makes sure everybody's happy and safe. So um, yeah.
You don't want to be up in that thing swaying from side to side, huh?
Like I like managing smaller trees, but I'm getting better. I only started climbing a few years ago, so
Hmm.
there's a lot to learn, and I'm teaching myself kind of. I have guys
Yeah.
that help me out, give me tips here and there, but yeah, I'm kind of the manager and a good, decent ground guy. So I know what to look for. I know what to
Yeah.
do. It's just a matter of getting up there and um, yeah. So
Makes sense. We all got our own specific skills, so you know yourself, which is very important. Start now. We've talked a lot about your journey as far as some of the things you've been through out there in California, either
or
managing
Colorado.
business. I mean Colorado. Sorry, managing businesses. Being in business, and I'm very confident that you have acquired and nurtured a bunch of skills that have helped your business. Do you mind sharing with some of the entrepreneurs that are watching today some of those skills that may help their business?
So there's two. I think my biggest skill is knowing what I don't know,
Hmm.
because in this industry you can definitely fake it, but there's
Hmm.
no room for error. It's kind of a very it can be a dangerous industry. So I've kind
Yeah.
of with my business evolution, I've always tried to reach out to people that were smarter than me and more skilled than me in certain aspects. So I try to
Hmm.
surround myself with people that are going to lift me up and really improve my skill set. Whether it's my sales skills or climbing skills or whatever, always be around people that want to help you and that are better than you.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
it's good to surround yourself with good people that way. So I say know what you don't know. And if this for a big tree, for instance, it's better to say, no, I can't do that. Let me partner with somebody that can, than try to do something that's gonna fall on a car and ruin your reputation or something like
Yes.
that. So that's kind of my big recommendation to people.
Oh yeah, and that's a great thing because you want to be good at what you're good at and focus on that. Same like with us in our business, we focus on what we do well, and then we have those referral partners that we work with to bring in the other things that they're good at. That way, my reputation doesn't go down. So that is just valuable information for those entrepreneurs to hear today. Now, as far as with yourself, we know that you got those arborist skills. And my question now is, let's just say you have gotten your contracts, you've built the business to where you want it to be, and Guy has more time on his hands. What is it that you would do if time wasn't an issue, money wasn't an issue? What would be some of those good things you would do?
I think me and my wife are on the same page with this one. I think if we had more time, we'd definitely get our homesteading uh, game up to par. We live
Okay.
on 3 acres uh, in Connecticut, and we've always wanted to be. We're like wannabe farmers, kind of. So
Okay. Okay.
we're always
Okay.
growing more stuff, and we just kind of want to. If money and time weren't an issue, we're simple. We'd probably want to up that and become more self-sustaining. That's
Okay.
probably
Okay. What would be your
what
main
I'd say.
crop you would grow?
Oh, I don't know. Well, my kids eat all the fruit in the world, so any fruit we have.
Okay.
We planted 2 years ago. Planted 50 strawberry plants, and they really produced last year, and we
Mhm.
had something like 25 to 50 pounds of strawberries, something like that, and they pretty much ate them all over time. So yeah, we got to plant more.
Yeah, they didn't give you a chance to preserve any of them, make no jellies, nothing like that.
No, yeah, we thought for sure we'd have some, in the freezer to make whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
you know,
No dice
it's
on
out of
that.
my hand. Nope.
Well, I definitely appreciate you sharing that. And in this next section, as we get ready to come to a close, I want you to share with the people that are watching the best way to get in contact with you. If they have some tree things they need taken care of, if they have questions about some of the skills that you shared today, what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
I think my email would probably be the best.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Guy, Guy, at meristemtrees.com. And then also my phone number. I'm looking at the back of my pickup truck right now, so I'll rattle
Yeah.
that off.
Yeah.
860-380-0840, and call, text, whatever works for anybody trying to reach out. We also have an Instagram. I think it's Meristem Trees. I think that's the account.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make sure to put that, in that section down there of context. That way they can click on it and get over to you. And Guy, we truly do appreciate you coming on today, sharing. We know that it's not always easy to get in front of this camera and start talking with people. And we appreciate all of our guests, and we want to offer you the last word. So please look into the camera and tell the people something good.
Yeah, thanks for the floor. I think my big thing is never be afraid to bet on yourself. I took a lot of kind of calculated risk and maneuvering to start my own business, and I'm not that special. It just takes a lot of dedication, hard work, and some confidence to go ahead and do it. And so my big thing is for all the people out there trying to start businesses is like, you can bet on yourself. Just have a plan and stick with it, and then I think most people will be successful. So that's what I have to say.
Awesome. So those are some very wise words, Guy. Again, we appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And to everyone that is watching today, be kind and thanks.
Thanks.